A crypto OG just gave a warning about exchanges. And you have to hear this. If you're someone that ever wants to sell your crypto, you should know this. If you're someone that has crypto in general, this is something you should know. We also have news that Donald Trump just bought billions of dollars of Bitcoin. There's also a rumor that something big might be announced this week. We have the SEC chair bold posting about crypto, saying it's encouraging to see public companies adopt Bitcoin and crypto as a strategic reserve. There's so much going on, massive purchases from a handful of different companies. Tom Lee gives his ideas on where the bull run might end, or maybe where Bitcoin and Ethereum are at the end of the bull run / the end of this year. There's so much that we're going to cover. This is one that you want to stay through to the end on. You do not want to skip out early. So like I said, yeah, put it on 1.25, maybe 1.5 speed. Hit that little gear icon to make it a little bit faster if you're in a rush, because you want to hear everything. If you want to trade crypto, there's a link underneath the video to BYDFi or BidFi. You can start trading in just a few minutes. They have two different things going on right now. A 10 to 50% deposit bonus, which is going for 2 more days. So check that out. And then also they have this exclusive deal for the next 3 days for our community where you get money, you get Bitcoin actually, just for trading on the platform. So check that out underneath the video. It's free right now. It's super easy to get your hands on. You don't need a KYC. You don't need a VPN to access this. And let's get started. As you can see here, we posted about this last night. Donald Trump posting the greatest Bitcoin explanation of all time. If you haven't seen that video, it's a great explanation of Bitcoin, but it's just crazy to see the president doing this, right? The president of the US is posting about Bitcoin, and he also just purchased billions of dollars of Bitcoin, but we'll get to that in a second. SEC Chair Paul Atkins says it's encouraging to see public companies adopt Bitcoin and crypto as a treasury reserve asset. We won't play this whole thing here, but he also stated that the US government has given Bitcoin and crypto the stamp of approval. Again, it's just crazy how far we've come from Gary Gensler, who wouldn't even say whether Ethereum is a security or a commodity, or didn't give anyone an idea for the regulations in the crypto industry. And now the SEC chair is saying, yeah, you have our approval. We're super excited. We're encouraged to see public companies buying Bitcoin and crypto and putting on their reserves. Like, this is the body of the government that regulates the stock market, and they're saying that they're happy that people are buying crypto, that companies are buying crypto. It's just insane. BlackRock bought almost 22,000 Bitcoin last week, 15,000 the week before that, 3,000, 12,000, 11,000, 10,000. They've bought, 70,000 Bitcoin over the last 6 weeks. They continue to stack so much. And there's just not much Bitcoin to go around. That's why we're seeing prices around 118, 120. Like, we're kind of fluctuating back and forth right now over the last couple of days, just bouncing around this level. It seems like we might break out, and then we come back down to like 116, 117. But think about how far we've come. There's so much Bitcoin being bought up. It's just a matter of time until we see an explosive move. And we'll talk about XRP and Ethereum and Solana later, so be on the lookout for that later in the video. But Sequans just purchased an additional 1,300 Bitcoin for $150 million at 118,000 per coin. Like, companies are buying thousands of coins at peak prices, right? They don't care. They are not price sensitive. They realize that if they're going to buy for the next few years, they're going to buy at 120, 150, 180, 200, 500. Like, they're willing to buy whenever they have the cash. Strategy bought another 6,200 Bitcoin for about $750 million. President Trump and Trump Media just bought $2 billion of Bitcoin for their treasury. The president of the US is buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin. Imagine if Biden had done that. Like, it's mind-blowing to think about this. And this is his private company. So he directly is making money when Bitcoin goes up in value. He's very highly incentivized for Bitcoin to do well right now. Just last week or the week before it came out, I think Congress said that he has most of his net worth in crypto now, $7 billion in crypto. There are rumors that there's going to be a report coming out later this week, and that the U.S. may explain how they're going to acquire more Bitcoin. In the past, they said that it has to be budget neutral. They also said that, like, from confiscation, or I think even maybe switching up other assets. So if there's some gold, they could sell some gold into Bitcoin. I believe there's some other way that they're talking about acquiring more Bitcoin as well, but very bullish. If that comes out this week and they actually give a plan to acquire more Bitcoin, the crypto world is going to love it. Tom Lee still believes Bitcoin is on track to hit 250,000 by the end of the year. Let me play this.
250,000. Here we are, 120 basically on Bitcoin, which you used to say at 70, and you know that was a 60% move or something that you were forecasting as within the next couple of months, or at least this year. Here we are now, what, 150?
I think the 200 to 250,000 for Bitcoin still makes sense, because that would still only value it at 25% of the size of the gold market.
Okay.
So I think. And
that's the gold market now. Keep in mind, if the gold market increases, then it's even less than 25%. Like just a few years ago, Bitcoin would have had to be $600,000 to match gold's market cap, but gold's gone up a ton. So now $1 million is what Bitcoin would have to be, or somewhere around $1 million. So that goalpost continues to move as gold gets bigger. So it makes it easier for Bitcoin to move to higher prices. He also says that he sees ETH possibly hitting 10 to 15,000 by end of year. I won't play this one for you, but just because it's a little bit longer and I'm on a time crunch here. But obviously he is chairman of the ETH Treasury Company, BMNR, and they're extremely bullish on Ethereum. It's more volatile than Bitcoin, so they think they can even get more Ethereum, and it's a smaller market cap too, and there's staking rewards, which allow you to get basically dividends from from Ethereum. So this is very interesting. They're using the CRCL multiples and layer 1 usage premiums as maybe an indication for how high Ethereum can go. Extremely bullish for Ethereum. Ethereum's doing really well right now too. Let's actually just go over to CoinMarketCap. Ethereum sitting up at, actually it's over 3,800. It takes a second for it to load here on CoinMarketCap. Took a little bit of a dip, a couple $100 dip, but it was just over 3,800. XRP was just at 363. It was hitting new all-time highs. Solana right at 190. We'll look at all these individually here in a second, but you can see Google searches for buy Bitcoin have spiked. Maybe not how to buy Bitcoin, but maybe is now a good time to buy Bitcoin. Probably a lot of people looking up. But yeah, I mean, we've only seen 1 or 2 spikes that have been higher than this since that 2020, 2021 rally or bull run. Google searches for altcoins also hitting a new 4-year high. Interesting. I actually have a video where I just went through some of the top cryptos to buy now. If you're looking for that, you can check it out on the end screen. But yeah, warning to everyone getting into crypto right now that maybe hasn't been in for a while. Crypto exchanges are silently robbing you. I compared Binance, Coinbase, Crypto.com, and Kraken. Here's what I found, shocking and disappointing. This is from Digital Asset News. Original gangster, OG investor. He's been around in the crypto space for about a decade. He said, here's the trick. On every single exchange, the buy price is higher than the sell price. The difference, called the spread, is how they quietly take your money. This is something you need to know. And I actually saw this in exchange that I use had a very high spread all of a sudden. And this can change. Sometimes it's like very tight. So basically you might buy Bitcoin at 119,000, but if you go to sell it, it's 118,500. Sometimes that spread is very small. Sometimes it's only a few dollars or maybe $100. But sometimes it's like $1,000. I had that on an exchange recently where I saw the price of Bitcoin at 118,000, and then I looked at selling it and it was like 117,000. It was just like a little extra, a lot extra Bitcoin they still had in the account from a long time ago. So it wasn't worth withdrawing. I was just thinking I'd convert it, and yeah, it was a big spread. Just to be clear, I've not sold any of my long-term Bitcoin or anything like this. This is, like I said, it was just some dust, a few dollars left in the account. Coinbase. Notorious for wider spreads. This is a snapshot that shows this in action. You can see 120,500 versus 118,000. That's huge. Crypto.com, they bake their profits right into the spread. I didn't show this one. Binance up here, though. You can see, you can pause it if you want. But what you can do, never use basic trades. This is something that I learned years ago. You want to use advanced trading. This is very obvious, like on Coinbase. They changed it up a year or two ago, but you can set limit orders, and it's an order book. So you set the price that you want to sell at, and they charge like a low fee, but there's no spread. And it's a pretty small fee. The more you trade, the lower the fee. So that's a great off-ramp. You get rid of that spread, it saves you a ton of money. By the way, you can actually trade on BYDeFi too. You can connect your bank account, and you can actually put money directly from your bank in here, and then you can buy spot in case you want to try it out over there. So yeah, be careful of that. Be careful. Bitcoin dominance falling. You can see we have been in this trend, this uptrend for a while, but looks like we're getting towards the bottom end of this range. I'd be looking for the 60% mark. If we break down below 60, we're going to see an altcoin season. We might see it kind of bottom and then take off again though, or just trend sideways for a while until maybe end of August. We could see it trend sideways, and then, you know, it'll be decision time. Do we go back up to new highs, or do we break down? Altcoins are looking fun though right now. Altcoins are looking very fun. XRP surpassed McDonald's in market cap, becoming more valuable than the global fast food giant. Higher value than Intuit or Shell. I think it even passed American Express earlier today. So it's crazy how far XRP's come, even just over the last 8 months. Sol BTC is breaking out too. This is Solana priced in Bitcoin. You can see basically a double bottom here. And since then, it's gone up a decent amount, and it is breaking out of this downtrend. Sol obviously gone up to like almost 200 big psychological level. Be on the lookout for that. See if it breaks out above there. This is a buy signal. The British government is considering selling all of its Bitcoin, around $7 billion, to help cover its deficit. Came out this weekend, and I wanted to make a video, but I couldn't. If this happens, that's a buy signal. We've seen this happen with the German government, and it marks kind of a bottom right around $50,000 because they just dumped it. There's so many people buying. If there's panic, there will be people that try to sell before this. If this actually does happen, they'll try to sell before it. We'll see a massive cascade of liquidations. That's where you want to have your account set up for leverage trading, because if you can nail that bottom, we made tens of thousands of dollars when the German government did that. It is the best buying opportunity because they don't care about the price. They're just dumping it, right? They're selling because of rules or regulations or whatever they have set up. That is the time to buy. Of course, this is not financial advice. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, check out BYDeFi underneath. There's also links to BTCC, BitUnix, WEEX. You can check those out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all soon.